Cheers, and welcome to Fireside Philosophy. I'm Steve. I'm here today with
Mike,
and it's his birthday today.
Oh, yeah.
Happy
Thank
birthday,
you. I made it.
Mikey.
3 decades. Jesus.
Wow.
And
Despite my best efforts.
It's not my birthday.
It's not Steve's birthday.
here with also Steve, Kevin, and Matt.
Also not my birthday.
Yeah.
Not my birthday either.
Yep. Yep.
Throw that in your data mining NS.
Yeah. Fuck you.
Figure that one out.
Fuckers.
Reference date against
Fucking
something else.
Also, you don't even know when we recorded this.
Could have been years ago, decades.
It was.
Well, it was sometime this week, probably.
Today's January the 3rd.
Or
Yeah.
was it?
1912.
Don't tip him off.
99.
1984, we think.
Or
Anyways,
so.
There's no significance to that year.
So anyway,
yes.
I'm drinking in double I.
You're ranking it?
Yes,
Okay.
It is 10%.
it is 10%.
So that's
I
what-
have drinking like this much.
Hey, you've.
Dorado double by Ballast Point, 10%.
It's
Very
delicious.
Good. They mash hop it. It's amazing.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Yeah, I
That
hadn't
sounds
even heard of
impressive.
mash hopping before this stuff. Have at Libertopia.
Really? Nice.
Yes.
In November.
We named it
In-
after Libertopia.
In
if you couldn't
2000.
guess.
Are you going to mash it?
We're thinking about it as of now.
Recorded on
What-
the internet for all the world to see.
Whatever it's gonna be, it'll be good though. Yeah. So
On to the topic.
today we're talking about radical optimism. Kevin started a website for it and a meetup too, right?
Oh, you
That's
did?
right.
You've only had one meetup so far.
Yeah,
though,
I'm a
right?
little behind on that.
Oh, really? I'll look it up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So tell us exactly what is radical optimism.
All right. So radical optimism is using reason and evidence to look for optimistic ways of looking at every part of life. It's the basic spiel. It's based a lot off of Rational Optimism, which is a book by Ridley, and then there's a couple other books, The Improving State of the World, and some other positive psychology and other fields. So it's kind of the basis of it.
We have cameras here, Steve.
I know. But what the hell? There's chairs here, you guys. Go ahead.
No problem. So I'd say there's kind of, well, it's a website, it's radicaloptimism.org, and it basically lists a lot of things in life, so from human society to emotions to relationships and environment and all kinds of things, and goes through issues that people commonly have with life and tries to find optimistic ways to look at it. I've found that there's a lot of catastrophism in the world, where in the media and culture, and even in libertarian circles.
Oh my God, ISIS.
Yeah, that too. And
Wait. Who, what impression am I doing? they're coming for you. They're coming for you. They've got fluoride in the water, and they're the elites, and they're controlling the world. All right, Alex Jones, can I just sum that up as
Yeah,
being
the only
You're not
catastrophe
supposed to
some
answer
sort of,
your
like-
own.
Yeah,
I don't
know,
like the term
like-
elite though.
well, I just if it was a bad impression, I just wanted to be like, yeah, we're talking about Alex Jones here because that's
good
what
enough.
he does. He makes money off of, he
We
makes
talked
money
about
off of people, and don't like that guy.
Oh yeah, okay, we talked about that. All right.
Another term I like is apocalyptic.
Oh yes,
Like it.
apocalyptimist. Hey, you know that one?
No.
Yeah,
That's somebody who thinks that the world's going to hell, but it's like going to be all right.
I kind of feel
I
that
kinda
way a
have
lot.
that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's good, don't you think?
I did not make that up.
That's an
I
option.
saw it somewhere.
That's a good
It's
option.
being optimistic about the apocalypse, so it's definitely radical optimism.
Yeah, that definitely falls in that
Yeah.
category for sure. I mean, I get for me where I get my optimism from is in that kind of similar sense that apocalyptimism. All right, that made enough
Close
sense.
enough.
Close enough. And it comes from, I guess, like I think about like stuff back in history, and you've got like like wars were
Anyway,
How do you measure progress?
Yeah, so that actually goes back to an earlier point, which is, what is some of the evidence for violence and average wealth of a person on the earth?
Mhm.
And, there's many more statistics to look at. And there's a lot of pretty good evidence. So, for example, I think life expectancy is a good way to measure progress because that shows, obviously, how people are cared for, but also shows things like Ebola, because you're going to die earlier if there's a lot of diseases. And that's just been going steadily up worldwide.
and cracking away at a a down pine limb or something, to now having these processors that you can have a 5 gigabyte chip that will fit on your thumb. And I remember
orbiting the Earth, flying to other bodies,
satellites going around this blue marble. It's wild. Yeah.
And theoretically, we might even be able to create technology to go to other parts of space and avoid, that sun explosion.
I mean,
Emanating
that's like,
how are you going to evacuate everybody?
Well, even disasters on Earth, like SpaceX and Elon Musk, they want to go to Mars because they know that if something were to happen to Earth, at least we'd have somebody on to continue the race.
Oh,
not that it would matter
to
to anybody who's dead on Earth. It's not going to matter anybody
Well,
who's dead
how
on
many
Earth.
people are there on Mars if there's just one poor bastard, in like some like capsule and for his little habitat, and he's like, oh, the Earth is gone. Yeah. Rats. But if you've got a good community going, there's future for humanity.
Of the optimism I have that more and more people are, waking up, is that too many people still see the state as this apotheosis of virtue, when it's not. It is.
Yeah, I think that's the real
That's
awakening
the scary
that needs
part.
to happen.
A scary amount of people like that.
So I'll propose
Scary.
something.
And the corporation.
Yeah,
Huh?
that's true.
State and the corporation.
I don't really differentiate
Right.
because they do their thing together, and so you know what I mean? It's like
State and corporations.
it's kind of like
that's the definition of
fucking,
fascism, isn't it? Right.
So here's one idea. One idea is that from the evidence that I've seen, most progress has been essentially correlated with wealth. So as wealth increases, people will, get rid of child labor. People will treat people better, animals, whatever. Mm-hmm. So I think that, and so far, wealth continues to increase. Mm-hmm. So as wealth continues to increase, I think what will happen is that just like other institutions have fallen by the wayside, like monarchy and others, I even think that slavery and monarchy were probably there were social movements that had to happen. I think that the prerequisite was average wealth increasing. I think it'll be the same thing. If wealth continues to increase, people will just realize that the obvious and it'll just go away.
And that's the optimistic part of it.
Right.
Is that why they're trying to make everyone poor?
They're failing.
Well, they're trying to make us all one, and not in a good way, like I was talking about, in a fucked up collectivist way where there is no individuality, and you all, it's the group think.
THX 1138. Why aren't you taking your medication? Yeah. right, yeah.
Oh wow, I remember that movie vaguely.
It's actually really not that good. Yeah. People were like, oh, it was George Lucas's first movie. Yeah, it was also George Lucas's first movie. It's not that good. Yeah.
Was he still in college?
Yeah. He actually filmed like most of it on like the USC campus. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Wow, that's interesting. Huh.
But I mean, I guess you were saying about the technology race. I agree with that government just cannot adapt that quick to keep up in the race. Now they're trying real hard, and they're doing things where they're getting corporations to do whatever they ask them to do. For example, I guess Yahoo thought they could get away with putting their foot down and saying, we're not going to say any more information. You've been screwing us around long enough. We're not doing it anymore. And the government just kind of came back and said, oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, you don't have to give us information, but you're going to have to pay a fee of $250,000 a day to not give us that information.
Really? I didn't even know that.
Yeah, no, that was like last week.
People are doing, and there's crackdowns for sure, but even with all of that, they control all the routers at the edge of that connect to the rest of the internet. Even with all that, Chinese people can get out. I've been in China. I've talked to some people that they're, everybody knows some guy who knows a VPN connection or whatever, and people get out.
Yeah. That's so bitchin'. Might be slow, but they get out.
Exactly. Right? Yeah, it is usually slower.
That's cool. I love that shit.
I don't think the government's ever going to be ahead of anybody when it comes to technology.
Right. Who's that?
I think it's always overstated how advanced the government is when it comes to technology. Yeah. I think there's a lot of bureaucracy that goes on in upgrading systems and all.
Thank the baby Jesus.
Well, even the idea that government is everywhere and they're watching you, it's not as true as people make it out to be.
It's a fear tactic.
Yeah.
Right, it's that panopticon thing.
Primarily, they want you to be afraid.
It's
so
like
as much as you have reasons to read about your
God's everywhere.
Oh yeah. Or God's everywhere. Yeah.
It's the thing. God's everywhere. Government's everywhere. They're both deifications, trying to say that you're always being watched and you have to follow these